And C-Mart, let's start with the second Buckeye off the board, right? Because we already talked about Chase Young so much, but Okudah goes number 3 to the Lions, and you look at him, 6'1", 205, runs a 4.4, Thorpe Award finalist. Like, you know that's the holy grail for a DB. Initial thoughts before we get into the tape.
Well, it's interesting that you mentioned Chase Young because a lot of people believe that Chase Young helped this guy to make his money and to go the number 3 pick when you look and study the tape. But Jeff Okudah, the one thing that pops out when you watch his film is this is a guy that believes that he is flat out better than the guy that he's lining up across from. And I think it's that magical sort of DNA, that toughness that clearly comes across when you watch him up close.
Yeah, so let's get to the tape. And this is the thing that I love. Like, you see him here. He's the slot corner, right? He's the number 3 corner. And I love this. I love to see a guy beat a wide receiver to the break. And I get it. This is a young guy in Wan'Dale Robertson who he's beating to the break. But I love seeing a guy sit in that tough technique. I don't know what you guys called it, but sit in that tough technique and outbreak the wide receiver to the ball.
And why? Because Chase Young was closing in on quarterback, so the ball had to come out fast. And that's a good example of what I mean. He challenges the wide receivers because he knows he can do that.
Yeah, and then here we get a little bit of zone coverage where he passes off guys. And, I mean, I want you to kind of talk through this where he takes number 2 instead of number 1, and he's able to make a play.
Yeah, I love this play because here he's going to get in a bail technique. He is a zone corner. He's playing thirds. But watch when he starts to bail. Smartly, he's going to go inside. So he's going to squeeze and snuggle up with the seam route, the number 2 wide receiver who's pushing vertically. This tells me great eyes. Watch him close in. Subtle detail. Now he goes and attacks the ball in the air. He's not just a man corner. He can excel in zone coverage as well.
Yeah, I think he does a lot of his best work. I think a lot of people think it's man because he does a lot of pattern matching, but he does so much of his best work in zone. And even here, no real press, but I love the way that he sits in that hip pocket. Listen, hide that backhand, C-Mart. How important is it to hide that backhand so you can still feel the guy?
No doubt about it. And then to be able to use that long arm. In his press technique here, he loses the inside leverage, but he knows that he has the burst to close. Right here, when he transitions, he can get in there, and he's long enough at 6'6'1", that he can get his body in there and get the ball disruption. But you can just tell in his eyes that he knows that he is a competitor and he is a fiery guy. And truly, that's why he came off the board at number 3. Remember, Detroit Lions had to replace Darius Slay, and they believe that Jeff Okudah is up for the task.